On this episode of Bands We Love to Hate, should Sum 41's mom have taken that abortion? Are me and Tim in too deep? Why did my lip get fat for that period of time right before we were getting ready to do research on this episode of a song called Fat Lip? Why did Derek just not buy Jack Daniels in bulk? Listening to this and more on this episode of Bands We Love to Hate.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Bands We Love to Hate, a show where we take a band that we as a music-loving society have deemed just awful and give them one final look and listen to see if they are really as bad as we say they are. My name is Tim. I am the host and producer of the show, along with my co-host, Sam Schwegler. Say hi,
Howdy,
Sam.
y'all.
You can find me on Twitter at Timmy Two-Step, that's TIMMYIISTEP, or at Shway Media, as I am the proprietor of this here podcast network. And you can find Sam Schwegler at, just Sam Schwegler,
It's
right?
just at Sam Schwegler on everything.
All right. And then he is also the host of the Schwegcast, a music and songwriting podcast. Also on Shway Media, if I didn't say that before. Shway Media. And you can find that at the Schwegcast. So, Sam, what band are we covering today?
Today we are talking about Sum 41, and what I really want to know is, are we in too deep?
I don't know. I definitely was a little in too deep doing the research this month. I listened to every album, watched way too many interviews, and stayed up binging their music videos one night. And, man, that was... Their music will not get out of my head, and it's neither a good or a bad thing. I'll leave it at that, and we can make the judgment at the end of the episode.
Definitely. I'm totally... I was getting to a point, I like to listen to the top 10 on Spotify, because it's what says, this is the band's best work that the fans have decided
Exactly.
is the best thing that they've come out with. And I get, after, the Hell song, I'm just like, some Simple Plan is close enough.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
I'm gonna switch over to them.
Full disclosure, Sam has kept referring to them as Simple Plan or comparing them to them, and they're not like Simple Plan at all.
I did realize that.
They
listening
look
to
like
Simple
that.
Plan.
Yeah, Simple Plan is that's the most whiny. We'll get to them probably next season, maybe. I don't even know if I care enough about Simple Plan to give them another look and listen. But
I don't
Sum
know.
41,
They have some good songs.
They do, but Sum 41, at the bare minimum, made more of an impact on the pop punk scene, which can be the equivalent to our parents, I guess, maybe loving hair metal in the 80s and fucking Motley Crue. I listened to also, because there's that line in Fat Lip of Judas and Priest were the gods that we praised, or Maiden and Priest were the gods that we praised. And I listened to Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and I'm sorry, those bands are fucking terrible. It's there. Anybody that gives shit to pop punk and emo music for being too whiny and then backs it up with Iron Maiden was the way to go. I don't need to hear a band scream that high pitched. No, it's I'll give them their props because they are Iron Maiden and they shaped rock and roll in some way, but you cannot in the same breath talk shit about pop punk and emo. We're not.
In my case,
existed.
as just a songwriter, when I tell people I'm a songwriter first, kind of before anything, metal music, a lot of it, and I think there's a lot of talent in the genre, but lyrically, it's just kind of garbage.
It's weird. I can make up the lyric for Iron Maiden, the devil's coming down the road and the flames are coming on. That's all. That's basically the Iron Maiden song I heard.
I actually do think that might be The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
See, God, they're the worst, and so is Charlie Daniels for that matter. They had one good song and we praise him for it. Anyways, this song is not about Iron Maiden, Charlie Daniels, Simple Plan. It is a little about Judas Priest, maybe, but it's mostly about Sum 41. So we'll get to the basics.
Let the conversation begin.
So to start off, their members. Who are they? Well, they went through member changes, but they started off with Derek Whibley, who spells his name with a Y, and I don't know if I like that. And then he recruited Steve-O, oh shit, I forgot. Steve-O 35 or something, whatever name he went by. It's Steve Joss is how you say his name, I believe. And he was their drummer, who has since left the band. And then Dave Baksh. I didn't bother learning to pronounce any of their names. Then now they have Tom Thacker and Frank Zumo. At one point, they had Tommy Lee that played drums for them from 2001 to 2003 for a tour.
So
like
you
Tommy
know how...
Lee from wasn't he an Iron Maiden, right?
No.
Oh, shit, it was Tommy Lee.
Let's get on the
fact
Google.
check that real quick. But yeah, they went through member changes. When I was watching their recent videos, I was like, oh my God, their drummer aged really weird.
Motley Crue.
And
you're right.
Yeah, Motley Crue. Or no, I said Iron Maiden, I think. Whatever. He was in Motley Crue. But
Same thing.
I was like, their drummer aged really weird. And he had left after things got really bad. After, which album was it? After Underclass Hero is when he started drinking a lot. Or Derek, the lead singer, had started drinking a lot. And then the band kind of like went on a hiatus. And most of them left. And
so here's something to think about. I want to go a little off topic for a second. So right now John Mayer is playing guitar with Dead & Company. Vince Gill he's playing guitar with the Eagles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a trend of like really good musicians like who have made a name for themselves, like their actual name for themselves, like to join bands, like classic bands. Do you think this is Tommy Lee's foray for whatever that word is and into Sum 41? No, I think that was a record label move and a PR stunt, if anything. Or Tommy Lee was just bored, and I think he was still married to Carmen Electra at that point, or at least that's when their reality show was on VH1. If you remember that deep dive. So, yeah, those are their members. They went through changes. Dave is now back in the band after years of doing his own thing. The band themselves, I guess, are from Canada, if you didn't know that already. And they have done several studio albums, 6 technically, and then there's also 2 EPs and 3 live albums. Their studio albums are... All Killer, No Filler, and Does This Look Infected? Everybody's 2 favorites. And then Chuck, which was named after a guy that saved their asses while they were in the middle, basically, of a civil war in the Congo, stuck in a hotel, and he got them and several other people in the hotel to safety, and they named their album after him. Mm-hmm. Then Underclass Hero, Screaming Bloody Murder, and their newest album, released in 2016, 13 Voices, which is about Derek's recovery from being an alcoholic for so many years. And getting better. Did they go gold, platinum, or anything like that? Yes, they did. Several times. All Killer, No Filler. 3 times platinum in Canada and 1 time platinum in the US, UK, and gold in Japan and Australia. Does This Look Infected? Platinum in Canada and America, gold. And then gold and platinum in several other countries. Chuck went 2 times platinum in Canada and gold in Japan and the US. And then Underclass Hero, I don't know how, because I pretty much thought we all stopped listening to Sum 41 after 2006. Went gold in Canada and Japan. So Canada and Japan stayed true. America stopped. We're just like, Sum 41
Sum 40
is out.
Yeah,
we have Fall Out Boy now.
Yeah. Fall Out Boy's got synthesizers and Taylor Swift now.
Kim Kardashian in the music video.
Oh, God. Oh, that's right. They did several tours too. Sum 41, like a ton of them. They're still touring. They headlined a Warped Tour a couple of years ago on Warped Tour's very last tour. I believe it was the 2016, right? Sam, last Warped Tour.
Right?
I
think it was. I think it was last year. No, 2018.
Was it okay? Oh, was it, man? I wish I had gone. But at the same time, I don't care to go see Dance Gavin Dance. So I saw them once.
Asking Alexandria doesn't harden your titties,
right? I actually saw Dance Gavin Dance with Finch on accident. I was just there to see Finch doing a reunion of What It Is to Burn, and 'cause that's how old I am at this point that I have to go to.
I was just thinking you walked into like a.
Oh no, they were legitimately
yeah.
on tour with Finch, and like their music is pretty
different.
Yeah, it's pretty standard hardcore pop punk, but
I almost saw Dance Gavin Dance. They were with Under Oath, I think, and then I ended up going on a date. I just ended up seeing a woman that night.
You didn't take her to Under Oath? Why did you not take her in Under? Come on, man, you gotta take a girl to Under Oath.
No, we didn't go to. I was gonna go to Under Oath by myself, and then.
Should have taken.
Yeah, I don't think she would have liked it, and it didn't work out. So I probably should have taken her.
Yeah, maybe it would have worked out. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's a band we do like. We don't hate them, and nobody hates Under Oath. I don't think. If you hate Under Oath, stop listening. And
you're not welcome on this podcast.
No, go listen to Under Oath and come back and say we were right. Anyways, years active. So fun fact: Sum 41 was founded in. Two different things said either 96 or 97, but they were founded as a NoFX cover band by the name of Casper. And then they ended up getting like a record deal, or they legitimately got a record deal after Derek pounded the pavement and recruited Steve or Steve-O 37, 30, you mean 48.
Steve from Smash Mouth?
No, not Steve in Smash Mouth. No, this was... They're not Canadian, are they? Are we just attacking Canada?
No, Smash Mouth's probably California.
Oh, wait, no. They're from Las Vegas.
Same thing.
I'm 99.9% sure because my friend either claimed she saw them live back in the day when they were still a band or is
Didn't we
lying.
Just talk about Smash Mouth?
I think we did.
We can't remember where they're from.
We don't where they're from. Yeah, no, I've moved on from them. My God. But you shouldn't. You should go back and listen to the very first episode of Bands
I
We
was
Love to
right.
Hate.
They sounded California to me, and it says San Jose, California. So
son of a bitch. Well, then my friend definitely lied. So screw you, person who I won't name by name. Whatever. Now, what label were they on? Island, Aquarius, and now they're on Hopeless. The latest album, like I said, was 13 Voices. There's Spotify. I'll get it right someday. Spotify play count. In Too Deep is at 139.5 million. Fat Lip is 128. Still Waiting 106. Hellsong 61, and With Me is 44 million. That's their top 5. YouTube plays. What?
Sorry,
go.
I'm always so weird with YouTube's algorithm. Sorry, not YouTube. Spotify's algorithm because Fat Lip is number 1 on the list, and then
yes,
second,
at some point after you get past 1,000, fun fact for you musicians listening out there, after you get past, I believe it's 1,000 plays, they may, if you go through what Sam and I have both gone through to add our music to Spotify and all the other internet streaming sites, is DistroKid. I believe there's a way to log in now, Spotify for artists, where you can rearrange it to fit, but I believe you have to be a certain number of plays to do so. That may not be the case because I vaguely remember doing it myself, but who knows? That could just have been in a dream. But yes, you are right. Fat Lip is at number 1, but that's also their very first song that they released, so they moved it. Yeah, I thought that was weird too, and then I had remembered. I'm like, oh, okay. But YouTube, however, does keep everything in a nice, neat little most viewed to least viewed. In Too Deep, 140 million views. Fat Lip, 89 million. Still Waiting, 62. With Me, 52. And Pieces, 48. And then it drops down drastically to like... oh no, then Hellsong is 40, and then it drops down to Walking Disaster at 28.
And are we talking about video stream?
Music,
like music video?
These are the music videos. These aren't live videos. Most of their videos on their YouTube channel are like under 100,000 views. Like any random tour video or like interview thing they have, like that's an official Sum 41 release. It's really low. Their YouTube account doesn't have that much activity at all. It might have gone up, in 2016. Hope you like that burp, internet. And because I'm not editing it out. In 2016, they released that album, and that might have pushed them up a little bit. But other than that, yeah, it's been pretty stagnant. Now, my YouTube channel my YouTube app on my Roku is going to take years to get rid of all the Sum 41 videos that are being recommended to me. I am so mad right now. Like all the weird sci-fi and science stuff I watch is just gone. It's all Sum 41. But let's see, fun facts I have written down here. They did a 10-year and 15-year anniversary tour of Does This Look Infected? And I watched an interview with Derek talking about it, and he said, like, oh, we just felt like it was something that we really kept wanting to look at and the fans wanted. I'm like, no, your record label said you got to do this or we're dropping you.
We got to get some money off of you.
Yeah,
guys.
well, because everybody else and their dog was doing a damn anniversary tour, like a 10-year, 15-year, whatever. It depends on when their biggest album was that came out. Like they were doing a a 10-year anniversary tour, a 20-year anniversary tour for, I think, so like, what's their name? At the Drive-In did one because they're old as shit. But yeah, it was definitely a money grab. So I don't care what you say, Derek. But their favorite video is Still Waiting. Also, Derek married and divorced Avril Lavigne, as people popularly know.
The band that married Avril Lavigne.
The band that married Avril Lavigne. I couldn't really tell from the interviews, but I get the feeling she left him as his alcohol addiction got a little worse.
Not for Chad Kroeger of...
No, she went with him later on of Nickelback. It was way later. I don't know if they're still married at all, though. I have not heard. Fact check back in later with that. We'll keep us posted on Nickelback Avril Watch. All right. So
no, they did divorce in 2015.
They divorced. That doesn't surprise me because I mean I don't like Avril, but I definitely don't like Chad or anybody named Chad.
God, she released a new album. Fuck that.
If your name is Chad, I like you. Give me a DM and I'll maybe we can get to know each other.
We're not nice guys. We don't wear fedoras.
Yeah.
At least I don't.
I don't believe that. Anyways, let's talk about their music ability. Are their songs technically good? The tunes, Sam, this is your area of expertise. I say meh.
I would say, so one thing about their music, I would say, it's very dated, if that says it, because you say movies are a little dated.
For the time, like that it was even in?
Because I listened to, because I just I was watching before we started the show, I started watching like the music videos and stuff like that, and YouTube likes to play other things similar to it, and I saw Fall Out Boy, Sugar We're Going Down, All American Rejects, Dirty Little Secret.
Love that song.
Yeah, and it was it was fun, but those songs are kind of like, I can still get into those, where it's like In Too Deep and Fat Lip, it's kind of like, oh yeah, 2000s nostalgia, isn't this great? Stuff like that. It's very dated. Music-wise, they play really well. Fat Lip is for me, I guess, that's probably other guitars would be like, oh no, that's fucking easy. I think the guitar riff is a little hard. But,
yeah.
There's some good riffs. If we're talking about like guitar riffs, they have a lot of good riffs.
Yeah, I learned drums to Sum 41. I learned on Fat Lip, In Too Deep, and Still Waiting. For the pop punk style music, they're solid musicians. I wouldn't say they're bad or anything. They had some good tones. No, out of a sea of musicians, they're like, I would say they're probably a good, solid 7, 6 maybe on their musicianship.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know. I watch them play. I watch their live videos, but I don't know. There's one time where Derek's not even playing the damn guitar, so I'm pretty sure he's using a backup, or it's their 5th member. I don't know. I could be wrong, and there was their 5th member in their band at that point. But yeah, don't when people do that.
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
That way he can focus a little more on singing, I guess.
Fair enough.
I don't have a problem with it.
Well. Sam and I disagree. This is the point in the show where we end the show.
And then we fight. We never talk again. And I burn down someone's house. Not anyone relevant to this conversation.
Nope.
Just someone's
a
house.
random Canadian citizen.
We're going to Canada. I can't get in trouble in Canada, so
No,
what are they going to do? Come over here?
Nope, they can't.
They're gonna come to Tennessee.
So, can you hum their tunes? I personally kind of dig Sum 41. I really dig Still Waiting. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
by
that's
them.
and they're actually that's my favorite music video there. I thought it was just kind of
Yeah, that's their favorite music video. I believe I mentioned that.
No,
but.
is it still? No, I'm sorry. I meant the Hell song. That's
Wait, the Hell song with the one with the
action figures.
Action figures, yeah, that one was awesome. I like that. a lot.
Because Marilyn Manson showed up.
Oh yeah, he did. Yes, Sam's favorite person that he cannot talk about until next Halloween. All right,
I know it's gonna be
save it.
We live in a society, people. Alexa, play Despacito.
Stop saying her name to people. They could be listening live. Okay. Does it aggravate you when you get a song of theirs stuck in your head?
No.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
no.
I don't get aggravated when any song gets stuck in my head.
Fair enough. Sometimes people can hear like, oh my God, I can't. Like, I get Gilligan's Island stuck in my head all the time, and I have no idea why.
Okay, I'll retract that. If it's like a really cheesy pop song,
yeah,
that like I know is not good, but I'll listen to it anyways. And I know I'm like this artist like is only popular because they're hot. Like
right.
Stuff like that, I'll get upset. But with Sum 41, I guess no. I mean that doesn't. I mean, I'm a product of the Aughties or the 2000s for you plebs out there. But so like when I say like, oh yeah, Sum 41's great, or I love Sum 41 or something like that, or I'm old Fall Out Boy, Blink-182. It's like, oh yeah, that's my generation, our generation.
Right. Yeah,
us as generation.
I can't really hate on them for anything in that area. So yeah, if I frequently get their songs stuck in my head, partly because of this research and partly because they're part of a pop punk emo hardcore playlist I listen to at work.
Oh yeah, they're on all of them.
Yeah, I love it. So okay, now on to lyricism. So are their lyrics technically good? I have down debatable. I'd say some of them yes. He touts himself as a songwriter, which he is, and he wrote all these songs with the help of Greg Norrie of Treble Charger, pop punk band from the 90s. I don't remember when they were around.
But I would say, it's okay. I mean, they're okay songwriters. It's kind of, I think their first album had a lot, which is a lot of people.
They were like 18 years old and stuff, like 18, 19-year-olds when they were writing those songs.
There's kind of like this. If you listen, I'll take Ed Sheeran, for example. He's huge and would never be on an episode of this show.
No.
Because we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Well, says you, but...
Yeah, well, anyways. So, like, you listen to his first album, Plus, and it's very much like this. I relate to that album so much right now in my life as, like, this guy who's, like, struggling through life and, like, relationships and stuff like that. And then he released... Divide? No, not Divide. That was Multiply. And then that was more like he's actually famous now and big because he got big off his first album. And so he's writing songs. And then Divide, it's kind of like, oh, this is a rich dude trying to write love songs that like normal humans relate to, which didn't come across as much as I would say he wanted them to. But there's still a lot of good songs on that album. And so when I say like their first album is... I like the lyrics on it. It's good just because it's like 18 and, they party too much, drank too much, and that's kind of like what they really wanted to get across with that first album. After that, they got their fame, and so it's just kind of like, this music's okay. Luckily, this genre is popular at this moment in time.
Right.
Good timing for them.
They existed at the perfect moment of pop punk. Like, they're the most, like... When you think of pop punk, people think of Sum 41. Usually, like them or Fall Out Boy, I think I would say is like the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, definitely.
They defined it almost
in
a good or bad way. I don't know.
But I will also say their newest album is really interesting just because of Derek's alcohol addiction. Because it's just, like that was like his life for a while, like drinking alcohol, like that's how he got through life. Then you take something away like that, it's like, okay, this is a major shift in everything that is who I am, and it was like part of his identity. He had to just take that away, and then he had a death scare. Necessarily,
like
and
6 weeks in the hospital or something. They had to put him into a coma.
Yeah, like
his kidneys and liver collapsed.
Okay, and I have a music degree, so I don't understand what it means when your liver collapses. I guess, like, in my mind, it's like it just falls off.
No, from what I understand, it basically just flattens out. Like, it just isn't working anymore. It's like a balloon that just loses all its air and it's not filtering out the toxins in his body. It's not. Same with his kidneys. His kidneys aren't producing insulin and all that stuff to keep him going. I don't remember specifically what the kidneys do. Leave it in a review on iTunes.
They make really big, pointy stones that hurt to piss out. That's all I know.
Yeah, if you don't drink enough water, that's exactly what they do. But yeah, and they put him into a coma because his body couldn't process the amount of alcohol poisoning that was going on, and had to just basically rejuvenate him through medicine and fluids over the course of, I think it said 6 weeks. But and when they I watched and read some interviews with him, is saying like, how do you go from writing all your songs where you're fucked up to not? And he was pretty just kind of nonchalant about it, as he was in most of their interviews too, which I'll get to later. But he was just like, that was just a point in my life that existed, and then with this, I just had to move forward and like find that new thing. Like he's saying he doesn't regret any part of anything that ever happened, but it did make those songs what they were, and now. I'm kind of rambling, basically. He just said like it was just a process of rebuilding my life that led to all these songs, the 13 voices, and now that album's doing okay, I guess. I liked it. I
thought it was the best one since
way
the
serious,
All Killer No Filler.
Really good. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, it's well written. Like, I think he's a good songwriter personally.
Yeah.
Like, as far as pop punk is concerned and the rock and roll genre, like they always kind of came off a little Metallica-y as far as his aggression goes, and some of their heavier guitar sounds.
I was saying like a shitty Sex Pistols.
Yeah, there you go. Shitty Sex Pistols. That's perfect. That's especially with the hair. Wasn't that guy's hair blonde and spiky? Yeah. Which I don't know if I bet that was a record label thing.
I know on like album 2 they did. They actually, he dyed it black, I think.
Yeah, it was black. It's blonde again now, but yeah, it was black forever.
That's what happens when you become a casualty of society.
Exactly. Sam Schwegler, master of puns. But speaking of why I probably thought they did sound a little Metallica-y, is they covered Master of Puppets at one point, as well as recently, We Will Rock You by Queen. The Master of Puppets one it sounds like Metallica, and I don't like Metallica, so it works. Like, it sounded bad, and I think Metallica personally sounds bad. And so I didn't hear any difference in the song, but my God, the We Will Rock You by Queen was not good, and they lost a whole point of me at my end of episode rating for that. I was okay, you're sitting at blank. No. I was like looking up, did they do covers? And I could only find Master of Puppets, and then I found Queen in an article somewhere on Facebook. I'm like, oh no, please don't.
Here's the question I want to ask you though.
Okay.
Sum 41 doing We Will Rock You, or Kanye West doing Bohemian Rhapsody?
I didn't hear him do Bohemian Rhapsody, but I would say Kanye's has to be worse. Queen's the Sum 41 one, at least it sounded like it. I can imagine Kanye doing something absolutely bizarre to Bohemian Rhapsody. That's a long song too.
I don't think he did the whole thing. He just did the the first part, but it's kind of just basically just karaoke.
Oh God. Okay, so that's definitely worse. I mean, We Will Rock You is at least a rock and roll song with a rock and roll band playing it to, I believe it looked like it was Japan. I kept seeing 2 different concerts, one in Japan and one in Germany. I can't tell which one it was at, but yeah, I'd much rather listen to the Sum 41 than Kanye doing Bohemian. Oh God. Oh no. I'm having a physical reaction to what you just told me. No. Okay. So what are their songs about? Back on track here. Loss. And most of the song, a lot of them I could tell were about his parents hating him or something, and then I found out that his mom raised him as a single mom from the time she was 17 when she had him, and his dad was just never in the picture. So it was any of the angsty I hate my parents elements, I would assume came from that.
That's just our generation.
Yeah, it's just, like
it's
that was
just who I am.
Yeah, like that was every emo band and every emo thing. I mean, it's basically your classic emo and pop punk lyrics: loss, parents hating you, and vice versa, and feeling hopeless about the world. Like, it's perfect overprivileged emo kid from the 2000s. Oh God,
definitely
man,
white people stuff,
dude. I will post a picture of myself on our bands we love to hate Facebook of myself with the most crazy emo hair. Well, it's not crazy. It's not as crazy as some. It's just very big and flies out to the side because I used a whole can of hairspray in it.
Jeez.
And it's me playing a show. Oh God.
I mean, I can up you there and send one as well.
Oh, I've seen yours. Yeah, no, send me one, and we'll do a side by side and post that to Facebook. Sam's is I've seen the one you're talking about, I think, and it's pretty damn emo.
God, there's too many pictures of me on the internet.
All right. So, do you catch yourself singing their songs? I do. All the time.
I'll sing along to them. Cause I'm in too deep. And you can just mumble them and kind of get it right.
Yeah, right. I used to know all of Fat Lip, especially because I learned it on the drums. But yeah, I always catch myself singing not in too deep. Still waiting. I play a cover of that song too. It's a slower down. God, slowed down version. I don't talk good today. So with that then, since we're done with lyricism and their musical abilities, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to discuss their music videos. Don't touch that dial or button.
That's my line.
I don't know. Oh, is it? Fine, say it.
Don't touch that dial.
There, are you happy?
I am happy now. Yeah.
Don't touch that dial. I'm editing it here.
I'm not. I've never been happy. That's
the edit.
I've never been happy. This episode of Bands We Love to Hate is sponsored by Honey. Honey is a free browser extension you can download using the link in the description of this episode. Honey searches the entire internet for promo codes, coupon codes, free shipping, and anything else that will save you money when buying things online. It's 100% free, and at no point will you have to pay for it at all with microtransactions. Add the Honey extension to whatever browser you're using, and literally you save money and support the show in the process. Now, we're talking about Sum 41 on this episode. Let's go to their website and search for some sweet merch. And look at that. Typing in the code, it looks like we got 35% off our order using Honey in today's episode. And we're proud of Honey. I've been using Honey for more than 2 years now, and I love it. And it's an extension that I am never going to get rid of, along with my ad blocker. It's just that important to me. So, if you're interested in using Honey and supporting the show for free and even getting free money in the process of it, use the link in the description of this episode, download Honey to your browser today, and start saving money. Now, let's get back to the show.
And we are back. So we discussed their music, we discussed their lyrics, and discussed their basics. Now for their music videos and live performances. So, first video was Fat Lip. We've all seen that video, I assume. Rad skater video at a douchebag party in a skater park with a bunch of douchebags.
Don't give a about nothing.
Don't give a shit about nothing.
That's a shit. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. You can swear here, Samuel.
I was thinking it was give a fuck about, and I didn't want to.
And it's we don't give a shit about. Well, I think. Oh shit, it may be shit. Don't give a shit about nothing. No, it's shit. Then there was In Too Deep. It was a cool video at a pool, but also rad skater people skateboarding in a pool. I don't know. I guess they kind of went. They went super literal on that, like, or maybe it's meta. I don't know. Like you're in too deep. Like you're in the deep end of a pool. Like I was like
one thing I want to talk about that music video.
It's silly.
Those dudes in the Speedo were definitely putting a sock in the crotch.
Oh, for sure.
I'm just saying, that's all I was looking at. And that just sounds weird. I'm like, just looking at these dudes schlong, and like, they're all huge. I'm like, that's not
true. Nobody looks that good in a Speedo. Yeah, that's they for sure. Yeah, camera effects. It didn't add 10 pounds. Gross.
to your dick alone.
Gross. But yeah. Oh yeah, there was a slip and slide off of the diving board in that video, and I want to do that really bad. That looks like so much fun. And here's a theme I kept seeing. Sorry to transition to that part. That was just something I wrote down, like slip and slide in video. Like yes, that looks rad.
The thing I wrote down was stuffing groin.
Stuffing groin. But one major theme I noticed in all of their, at least early music videos, I stopped paying attention, but the editing of the syncing, like the lip syncing and instrument syncing. Instrument syncing you can't notice that much, especially if you aren't like a musician. But man, the lip syncing from the song to the video is so bad. I thought it was like my YouTube app at first, but no, whoever edited their videos did a terrible job, like the worst job, and it was almost borderline distracting.
So probably their mom should have had an abortion. No.
Yeah,
I need to stop making that joke.
Yeah. So then they went to those were both Fat Lip was All Killer No Filler, and then Does This Look Infected, the big one with In Too Deep, and then wait, right? Yeah.
No, I think All Killer No Filler
that was In Too Deep as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then Still Waiting, that was the single off of Does This Look Infected. If we are wrong, feel free to tweet and correct us at BWLTH on Twitter and
make sure your asshole
Facebook.
is as tight as possible before you do it, though.
Yeah, make sure we really pissed you off.
If you can stick a pinky in that asshole, it is not tight enough.
Very, very graphic. And right, it is right.
I told you I'm going to be posting raw stuff like this.
That's great. Nobody knows that you're pulling raw stuff except me, Sam.
That's just who I am.
So now you know, audience, Sam is raw, whatever that means. Anyways, Still Waiting is their favorite music video. And it involves them destroying a set. And it has, favorite part, Will Sasso from Mad TV. Love that guy. Is the record exec at the beginning of the video. And they walk in, and he's like, you guys need to change your name. The Sum 41 thing, it's out. You know, Blink-182, Green Day 75, whatever. It's done. It's the Strokes, the Hives, the Sums.
I totally forgot he was on Mad TV. I just remember him from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, yeah, he was on that. Dude, my favorite thing was, he goes, do you smoke? No. Well, you do now. Everybody smokes now. It's like, but okay. And it was shot like a Strokes music video too. And then they ended up changing all of their names to something, I guess they were going for Swedish. Cone changed his name to Thurston. Day was Holmes. Derek was Sven. And Steve-O, 32. Got the number right, wrote it down somewhere. Was named Sergio. I think I like the name Sergio over Steve-O32 personally, but yeah. Then Hellsong, Sam's favorite, with those
I like that
action
music
figures.
video, yeah.
That was a bunch of weird, like they taped their faces onto everything, but then some, I don't know whose rad house they were in where they had all of those action figures available to them.
It was so low. It looked like such a low budget video too.
Oh yeah, it was. They filmed it themselves. That was. I remember them saying that. Like they filmed.
Record
it at their
labels just like, we
apartment
don't
one
have any money. What do you got?
you guys are on thin ice.
In too deep. Oh,
Yeah, you guys are in too deep. There you go. Oh, perfect. God. Yeah, and then they started. So after Hellsong, most of their songs started getting real serious, too. Like all of their other music videos that I watched were all for the serious songs, and all their other like singles after that were like it was With Me and Pieces and War. I guess was a more serious song, but it was heavier. I guess Motivation, that was another one that was less sad, but I don't know. Yeah, they just started getting real emo-y and serious. Like I think With Me was the piano song, or an acoustic song, basically. And it was after Dave had left the band. And then Pieces was another sad song. It's a breakup song. And Derek looks emo as fuck written down. But I spelled it F-U-K. I'm not sure why. And he's just walking the whole time with some weird, like, pseudo-capitalist marketing imagery of, like, the perfect nuclear family life of, you know, wife and 2 kids kind of a thing. And, yeah, it's just, they're all living ads that roll by him as he's walking. It's real. I don't know what kind of depth you were going for, but you didn't get in too deep enough there. I did one. Walking Disaster. That was actually pretty cool song. I like that song. It's got a good line in it. Walking Disaster, son of a bastards. You regret you made me. It's too late to save me. Like, that's the most emo thing I've ever heard in my life. What was your favorite music video of theirs? Or did
it was
a favorite.
It was
just
the Hell song.
Yeah.
And can we just talk about the title of that song? Like, that is the most pop punk.
Yeah.
Like, you would never release a song with that title today.
No, it was about his friend going through something I read, but like, yeah, you wouldn't release a song like that today. I don't think.
It's just like,
that's a very
I'm not
emo-y
listening
song.
to that.
Yeah. Their music videos, I think they're decent. They, you know, they were
They're
there.
dated. They're still dated.
They're definitely
They're fun to
dated. Like
watch.
he said, Derek said that he always wanted a performance element in all his videos, and so that's why they're always performing. And that always, I think, maybe subconsciously always set the standard for me in music videos, because now when they started doing the whole like mini movie thing that they do now for music videos, which is more of a throwback to like the 80s when they did those things, which I like. It was just, I miss the performance stuff in music videos, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
a lot of that, not that I see anymore. If there is, I'm just not watching the right music videos, I guess. But their live stuff, them performing live, I don't know if I put the Hard Rock Cafe on there on our website or not, bandswelovetohate.com. I think I'm going to try and keep with the theme. If I will, you know what, I'm just going to put it on there if I haven't already. But it may be for you, it may have just been on my end, but the audio is totally off on there and it's super distracting. But they did perform at the Hard Rock Cafe. I think every band we are going to cover might have performed at the Hard Rock Cafe.
It's like a standard to be on the show.
If Hard Rock Cafe wants to sponsor this show with free fries, maybe.
I'll do
I'll take
anything.
fries. Please feel free to reach out to us.
I don't care how they sponsor us. If they just figure out a way, I'm down.
So down.
Or Rainforest Cafe. Which one do you
Or
prefer?
Rainforest Cafe. I do like the animals at the Rainforest Cafe. That was always fun.
It's my first date spot.
Best chicken fingers in all of them all. But yeah, their videos though, or their live performances, they've never changed. Their styles has been consistent through the years. It wasn't same with it was the same case with Smash Mouth, and I'm hoping that's going to be the case with most bands we see. Because like or not. I don't know. I don't know if you should change your performance style. Definitely evolve your music. They really can't jump around. I mean, once you get older, you can't jump around anymore. So I guess, and he hurt his back a long time ago too. So
oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he just instead of taking pain meds.
Yeah. Well, no, he did.
More.
That was the thing. He didn't drink, or he didn't take pain meds. He just took 2 extra drinks and said the pain went away. I'm like, that's. Sucks.
I mean, that is just insane.
Either one of those are terrible.
I've been in pain, just like stuff like that, but like alcohol doesn't really.
Not at all. Never have I thought that a drink could emotional pain, that's a whole separate thing, but physical pain, I've never. Headaches, I know that having a beer sometimes will make the headache go away because it
helps get rid of hangovers.
Blood. Yeah, hair of the dog. But yeah, that's never for pain. My God, but he's doing better now. That's what
he's
counts.
A legend. He's still a legend.
Still a legend, and we're talking about him now
in high functioning alcoholic land. He is a legend.
Well, he's not. He doesn't drink anymore. But he is. It's
kind of like Michael Jordan had to retire at one point.
Sure, in a very more fucked up way. So okay, we've exhausted talking about their videos. Their performances has been the same. They just look older and move around a little less. So now for culturally. Now, who are they culturally? Did they add or take away anything to any given culture?
I mean,
no, not at all.
Is Avril Lavigne a culture?
No, they.
Thank God.
Maybe.
That's not a culture.
I really hope she's not a culture. Or any sort of subculture, which they did not create either.
I guess he married Melissa. So.
Okay. Sam. Side note is full into the theory that Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by some poor girl named Melissa. Quick Snopes run will cure that of him believing that, but he won't do it. So we're going to end up having an episode later in the season about Avril Lavigne.
Spoiler alert!
He's going to get to talk about this in semi-length, not in full length.
And by then, my Alex Jones impression will be phenomenal.
Will be fully ready. Perfect.
Return of the frickin' Frogs gay.
There you go, everybody. There's your look at later on in the year when we cover Avril Lavigne, Canadians' own
We're just wiping the walls down between you and me.
Wiping the walls down in the name of Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks, somebody that we will also, in a way, discuss this season as well. But that is still a secret of what
we got a lot of things on our plate.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of things going on this season, folks, and you can always check out what's coming up next or check out any news at bandswelovetohate.com and shwaymedia.com. Now, back on the subject of Sum 41. I would say they did add a little bit to if pop punk or emo culture is at all a subculture of anything, I'd say they defined it a little bit, or were at least at the height there. I don't know if they would be the ones that everybody
sense.
The fashion sense, yeah, like Dickies, long shorts, skater shoes, definitely the influenced the fashion. I would say out of all emo, AFI would have influenced fashion there, and just been the sad look, the shit, and what's his name from First to Last, Skrillex, putting a friend of mine said he used to dress like this because Burt McCracken from The Used and My Chemical Romance face, he just wrote that new show on Netflix, The Umbrella Academy. What's his name? Gerard Way. They put red makeup across their eyes to make themselves look like they're heroin addicts.
I wouldn't say Gerard was just a nerdy guy.
Yeah, I think they all faked it. Yeah, Sum 41's add to the culture at all was, I don't know. And on a chessboard, maybe they're like a rook. That side little castle one, they were there, but they weren't like the kings of pop punk or the kings of emo. I would probably give that to maybe Fall Out Boy or
I want to say
Glory and
I
Good
want to say
Charlotte.
Kings of Emo is My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, do you lump pop punk and emo together? I do, kind of.
Yeah,
Even though they're kind of the same thing. It's the emo lyrics, but like you could classify emo music as AFI or Terminal, or
Best way I would describe it, if like you can put it together, is if you would be a tour trying to make a tour, and you put those two bands together, then it would work. And
Right.
like emo and pop punk, like you could do a tour of My Chemical Romance and Taking Back Sunday, and it would probably work.
Yeah, see, in Taking Back Sunday, I would put more in the lines of emo versus pop punk. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I classify Sum 41 and Simple Plan as pop punk, and Taking Back Sunday, Brand New, and AFI is emo, and Newfound Glory and Good Charlotte as pop punk, and like,
Yeah.
But you could still. That's the thing. Those two genres are so perfectly close together, and then the screamo offshoot with the Used and everything else. What was it? Finch. Under Oath. See, and then Under Oath people would consider hardcore. There was so many
metalcore.
just within that little 10 years, maybe 8-year period. There was so many little subgenres.
There's a lot of stuff going on. And
Like so much going
oddies.
on. Like no, that stuff's hardcore. HXC, motherfucker. Like no, that's pop punk. Like I remember I was at a show. It was Warped Tour actually, and I wish I remembered the name of the band. It was some hardcore band. They were kind of douchebags. I always thought of them as douchebags, but everybody was waiting for Simple Plan off on the stage. There was the North and South stage at Warped Tour, and he goes, "All right, everybody, you see those Simple Plan motherfuckers over there? I want you to get rowdy and go beat their asses." And like the crowd shifted, and like a bunch of people ran over and started just jacking up the people waiting on Simple Plan, minding their own business. And it's like, what the fuck? Like they got, I think they got kicked off the tour after that. I don't remember what band it was.
I would
If
kick
you
them
were,
off the tour.
dude, absolutely. Like if you were at that tour or at that show, Warped Tour date, and you remember what band that was, please let us know on our Facebook page at Bands We Love to Hate. I think I'm going to promote this at least 40 more times before the show's done.
And I want to say, and just about that, I'll make the one last comment. It's kind of like you make fun of the band, not at the show itself. You make fun of the other bands.
Talk shit afterwards, but don't talk shit
This is why
at
you
all,
start a
but
podcast. That way you can talk shit
Exactly.
about other bands.
for a very search engine optimized name. Bands we love to hate. But yeah, don't do that. Like another side note, I was at a show once. My friends who were called The Fuss, and their lead singer is in a band called The Vandaliers. I highly suggest you look at that band if you like Texas country. But The Fuss, who also you should still check out, their music's rad, was playing a gig, and before then, there was a band playing called Jean-Claude Van Jam. And yeah.
I think you've told me this story.
Oh yeah. And they can talk shit to me all they want because they were assholes. And but they had clarinets in their band, which was like,
Which is already, I'm like, yeah, come at me, bro.
yeah, which is like, oh boy. And there's nobody in the bar, and me and the three dudes that were in The Fuss were the only ones there, and we were drinking some beers and watching them. And like, this is kind of weird, but whatever. We didn't think anything of it, didn't talk shit, nothing. And then Josh, their lead singer, gets up, and they're like loud devil rock, like really heavy. Yeah, no. The Fuss is. No, the Jean-Claude Van Jam had the clarinets. But the Fuss gets up there, and they're loud as shit. And they they play through their first song, and the lead singer of Jean-Claude Van Damme goes, "Turn it down." He goes, "What?" He goes, "You suck. Turn it down." The guy that played before them is heckling the band that is playing now. And he's like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're too loud." He's like, "Well, I'm just going to turn it up." Turns it up and goes into their main single song and hawks a loogie and spits it at the guy from across the bar, and it hits him in the chest. And like, then the band like just gets all pissy and like yells at the bartender, and the bartender goes, "You guys can't ever play here again," to Jean-Claude Van Damme. "You guys are dicks." I fully support whatever he did to you just now. And then they got done with their set, and the bar owner was like, "You guys can play here anytime. What you did was awesome." Like, rule of thumb, people, don't talk shit about other bands.
I found this band on SoundCloud.
Especially if you're there.
Are they from San Francisco?
Who? The Fuss?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, I don't know. Oh my God, did they tour to Austin? Oh Lord. Oh, why would you? Okay, whatever. I can talk shit about this band because I am doing it on a podcast, and that's what it's reserved
fuck
for.
That band.
Because fuck that band. They yelled at my friend. I like my friend more than I like that band.
You have a clarinet in your band. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you were either a jazz musician or, I don't know, you're doing something weird, which is fine, but don't try and have an all clarinet based rock band. It doesn't work.
Don't show up the venues I show up with.
Yeah, right.
With the clarinet.
God. All right, back on track with the band before we get to the end here. Did they do something new? No, not really. They were there again at the right moment of pop punk. Were they assholes? No. I don't think they are. You think they didn't come off like that in the interviews? Derek just kind of comes off as like a quiet guy.
Yeah, I was like kind of like this, like my mind before doing research on this. I'm like, oh yeah, they're assholes, and then like you like actually research. I'm like, no, they're not. They just kind of look like assholes. They kind of just act like just their music is kind of like, oh, the face punchable. Ajit Pai type, you know.
Yeah, Ajit Pai. Fuck that guy.
Which I was thinking of like the All American Rejects. I was just like, I want to punch the lead singer in the face, but
their lead singer looks and acts like a douchebag. Of all the All American Rejects, I can vouch for that one. Like,
it's kind of like it's your actions.
It's his actions, yeah.
Like
I watched a video of him doing Toxic of All American Rejects, and he goes, "This is Toxic by Britney Spears, except better." Like, that was kind of humorous, but like, I can tell you really think that's the case.
Yeah, you can't be.
You're not right. Nickel Creek's the only one that did it better than Britney Spears, and you're not them. So,
but you know, like we've said before about Mark Zuckerberg, he is a robot, not a lizard. Just because you look like a lizard doesn't mean he is a lizard. It's your actions. Walk. As Albus Dumbledore, it's our choices that decide who we are.
Very long walk to say, don't judge a book by its cover. But yes, I 100% agree. Mark Zuckerberg, I think he is a robot, but that's just me. I think he replaced himself and is inside that robot, but who knows?
He's like 3 feet tall.
It's like those little aliens from Men in Black inside the face. Okay, did they appropriate anybody's music? Last question. No, they didn't. And correction to our last episode, I need to point out somebody pointed out to me. Smash Mouth did. Ska is definitely reggae-based Jamaican music. So if anything, they appropriated reggae a little bit and ska.
White people reggae.
Yeah, it's white people reggae for sure. It's not true reggae. If anything, there's songs that nobody listened to are reggae. But that's my only correction from last episode. But they didn't appropriate. I mean, punk is. I don't know. It's just it's just anti-establishment. Like, that's all punk is. Like, if you want to say they stole from punk culture to make the pop stuff that they did, the mainstream stuff, an argument can be made there, but my heart's not bleeding for some old punk that's mad that some NoFX cover band made it big and people don't remember NoFX that well anymore. I remember NoFX.
I remember them, yeah.
Yeah, but we also like punk music.
Yeah.
Like, but that's it. They aren't and all a mainstream. Like, do you want NoFX to be mainstream? I've gotten into arguments on why this band sucks because they're mainstream. Like, but your band is mainstream too, that you like. Like, it's like, yeah, but you can't help that they got that big. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's my same argument. Like, regardless, don't you want that person to have success?
Yeah, they got big because we like them.
Yeah. Thank you. My friend always said, it's like, when people ask me, like, you don't ever want to sell out, do you? He's like, oh, I want to sell out to sell out Madison Square Garden. I want to sell out Nokia Live. I want to sell out all these other places too. Like
the Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Awards.
Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Awards, especially. Like, why not? So lastly, Derek, as we've mentioned throughout this episode, suffered from alcohol addiction, something that plagues a lot of people around the world, in America and Canada as well. He had a bottle of Jack delivered to his house every day, and then one day poured a drink in his kitchen and woke up in the hospital like a while later. And they put him, like we said, put him into a chemically induced coma to help him get better. And he did. And some folks don't get better. And, you know, Sam and I, we drink. We don't necessarily have a problem like some others might. And if you are one of those people and you do have a problem and need to get help for drug or alcohol addiction, you can call the helpline at 1-888-633-3239. That's 1-888-633-3239. And somebody will be on the other line to help you get that help that you deserve and put you on the road to recovery. So now off that serious note, Sam, are Sum 41 hate-worthy?
No, I don't think so. And I guess we're on episode 2, and we've been saying both bands so far are hate-worthy. No, I don't think they're hate-worthy at all. I mean, you think they're douchebags, and I guess somehow I had that mentality that they were. But then once I did the research on the band more specifically, no, they're not douchebags. Their music is okay. Like they're talented musicians. They're good at what they do. I mean, songwriting wise, they've stuck with the same genre and haven't kind of branched out and tried something new like Paramore has, Fall Out Boy has, even though I don't like Fall Out Boy's new stuff.
Exactly. I don't like Paramore's new stuff either. So I'm kind of
we're in a
okay
weird
with them.
There's a lot I have to tell you about Paramore's new stuff, but
I'm interested to hear.
For another year.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't think Sum 41's not my favorite band. I mean, I went off listening to them. I like to go through Spotify's top 10 of. I like to do that with like any artist though. Like just go through their top 10, and really it was kind of like after the Hell song, it was like I don't want to listen to this anymore.
Yeah,
but I think that's just me.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's dated. I mean, it was like it's solidly pop punk. You don't want to listen to that all day. There's been literally millions, if not billions, of songs that have been released since that era. But yeah, I'm a no too. I don't hate them. I've never hated Sum 41. I understand where the hate might come from, but again, it's always just ends up being, and that might be the case for a lot of these bands we cover. Probably not the next one, which we'll get to in a second. But it's just not your cup of tea. Their songs were, okay written. Their musicianship was pretty solid. Like I said, maybe a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. So scale of 1 to 10, 1 being unlistenable, 5 being meh. They are okay, and 10, they're better than you think. What do you give it?
I'm giving it a 6.5. So with a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's very dated music. And so like I'm watching, Fat Lip, In Too Deep. It's very dated. Like that music video is very dated. And like right after that, I watched Sugar We're Going Down music video. It's the guy with the antlers and, falling in love with a girl and her dad doesn't like it. And then ends up her dad has deer feet. Spoiler alert.
I need to go back and watch that. Oh my God.
I mean, from Under the Cork Tree, I love that album. But Sugar We're Going Down still holds up as a really good song. Fat Lip, it's still a good song, but at the same time, it's dated.
Yeah.
And so that's really what puts me down from Sum 41 and what actually makes me want to listen to it, because I still love pop punk, but it has to be the stuff that still holds up really well compared to some stuff that does not hold up well at all. So I'm saying 6.5. So in our scale, it's, man, they're okay. They're a little bit better than okay, but they're not the Beatles.
Right. Oh, God, they're definitely... The Beatles on this scale would be a 20. Let's just leave it at that, maybe. Maybe a 15. I don't know.
We'll have to do an episode on them because everyone hates the Beatles, right?
Everyone hates the Beatles. Anyways, I give them... I'm going to say, a 6.5 as well. I would have put them up at like around a 7.5, but again, that Queen song cover killed it for me. The only song I like of theirs that I can listen to over and over again and to this day would be Still Waiting. That's the only one. They're like, the other ones, they're good. I could listen to Fat Lip or In Too Deep sometimes, but the only one that I would consider a song that I like and would keep on a regular playlist, I think would be Still Waiting as far as a rock and roll pop punk song goes. But everything else, maybe Hell Song too. And one of their songs, maybe Pieces, I think, is a decently good acoustic emo piano. I think it's piano song, but other than that, I can't like... The only reason I listened to them as much as I have the past month is because of the show. So other than that, I wouldn't. No, I've moved on.
I wouldn't go to their Spotify page.
I would go to them over Fall Out Boy. I would go to them over Fall Out Boy.
Really? Okay.
That. Yeah, I would go to them. I like Fall Out Boy. I like I like Sugar Going Down. And I like Dance Dance, but I think I would pick Sum 41 over Fall Out Boy.
I always go with Fall Out Boy, off topic, but I always go to they have the Believers Never Die like best of album, and that was before 2012, like when they went on hiatus and then came back and started making the shittiest music in the world. So that's a good one to listen to.
Check that one out.
I was go through that one from Under the Cork Tree, their first album before with Saturday and Where's Your Boy.
Perfect. I will get into those because chances are we're going to cover Fall Out Boy on this show. So, Sam and I have given Sum 41 a solid 6.5, and you can go judge for yourself if you haven't by going to our website at bandswelovetohate.com and going to the research section under February, and the link to their music, the link to their videos, and links to their words and articles will also be there, as well as some interviews. So... Now that we have given them their one final look and listen to see if they're really as bad as we think they are, and they are not, it is time to announce this next band. Sam, would you like to do the honors?
Sure.
Fake drum roll.
This is a band that I actually kind of like, and I like to say that because there's a couple songs I really like by them. I haven't really gone in depth to their music, but just the singles. Is the band called, we're doing a modern band this time, that's still doing things in relatively new, the Chainsmokers. Now, Paris, their song Paris has been in my top 2018 and top 2017 playlist for songs I've listened to. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yep. Because I definitely don't like them, and they sound like everything wrong with the music nowadays to me. This is where you're going to hear a lot of curmudgeon out of me next month.
So yeah, me and Tim probably going to get into it because we've agreed on Smash Mouth. We've agreed on Sum 41. Like, we've generally agreed on these two opinions, but I think the Chainsmokers is really what's going to make us hate each other.
Maybe. Yeah. And just keep in mind, if you're wondering, like, well, I like the Chainsmokers. Well, I don't like you. No, I'm kidding. I do. But these are bands that we love to hate. I have heard so many people talk shit about the Chainsmokers, and I cannot say I've listened to enough of their music. So I may change my mind. But as of right now, from what me and my girlfriend have listened to, we are both a solid no, and she sends her pity my way for this next episode. So,
and for some bands that we have on this season that I am like dreading listening to. This is going to be an easy month for me.
Yeah, this is Sam's easy month. I had my easy month with Sum 41, but from here on out, it's going to get a little worse.
It's going to get raw.
And you'll see, it's going to get raw. and you will see over the next few months. So I want to thank you all for listening to our show today, Bands We Love to Hate. You can find us on Twitter at BWLTH and on Facebook at Bands We Love to Hate. And you can find us also at bandswelovetohate.com, where you can find the research that we did for the this episode and the past episode and all the upcoming episodes, which I am still toying with the idea of either announcing them at the end of each episode or giving you all plenty of time to get caught up over the next few months. I will make an announcement later on if we do. So you can find me on Twitter at Timmy Two-Step, that's eyes instead of the number 2, or at Shway Media for our podcast network's Twitter handle. You can find Sam at
Sam Schwegler, and I don't use Twitter that much anymore because I do not care for what our president has to say about anything, or anyone has to say about anything the president says. But on Instagram, I am very active. You can hit me up. If this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin.
Amen. And you can also find us on Instagram as well at Bands We Love to Hate, and find me on Instagram at Timmy Two-Step, same as my Twitter handle, because, as Sam said, Twitter is a garbage place full of needless politics and hatery. I'm going to coin that word for you guys. Don't give in to the hatery, give in to the lovery. And that's the Bands We Love to Hate show. Good night. Bands We Love to Hate was created and produced by Shway Media. The show was edited by Tim Philippi, and all music was written and produced by Sam Schwegler and Timmy Two-Step. For more, visit bandswelovetohate.com. And be sure to catch up with this month's band, Sum 41, on Spotify or at sum41.com. Thanks for keeping pop punk alive, you Knights of Canada. Your songs will always be in our hearts.
It's America, the podcast. Hello, America. It's me, Thebadias A. Stard, a.k.a. the Bastard, a.k.a. the embodiment of and only hope for America. You may have noticed lately a gentle calming in your ears. Well, that is because I haven't been screaming my very important words into said ears. This would be due to the fact that my show, America, the podcast, has been off the air for quite a while. As you might guess, being America's lobbyist, as well as its embodiment of and only hope for, can be rather time-consuming. Well, fear not, my fellow Americans, because my wonderful show, America, the Podcast, will be coming back in March, albeit in a slightly different format. As you all know, it is now 2019, which means it's time to start running for president in 2020. And we at America the Podcast want to help you make the most informed decision possible when you go to the polls in November of next year. Or at the very least, help guide your thumbs as you argue with your racist, climate change denying uncle on Facebook. To do this, we will be releasing the show in 2 different ways. The first will be mini-episodes released periodically. Each episode will contain a profile of each person running for president, whether it be the 20-plus Democrats running for president, the few people with the balls to primary Trump, and even some of the independents. The main show, that we will be releasing once a month, will discuss the different political parties that make up America, starting with the Green Party. While a premiere date is not set, I can swear to you, on the grave of our ability to say Merry Christmas, that I will be back, screaming my very important words into your ears in March. So that you do not miss the premiere date, please remember to follow the show on Twitter at AmericaThePod, on Facebook at AmericaThePodcast, and visit our website, AmericaThePodcast.com. I am giddy at the thought of being able to influence your hearts and minds and scream my very important words into your ears once again, and I know you feel the same way. But for now, remember to America as hard as you can every single day. I will see you in March. It's America, the podcast!
Now this is podcast.
Casting.